Hello, Dr. Mehak. How are you doing?
Hi Kriti, all good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you for inviting and talking about, let's so eager to talk to you about mental health.
I am so excited as well. So, what's happening around? What's going on these days?
Okay, so basically, apart from being a freelance clinical psychologist, I am an assistant professor in BBK College of Women, and I'm an assistant professor of psychology. And yes, absolutely love conducting webinars and seminars and talking so much more and more about mental health. So anytime, if anyone asks me or approaches me about mental health, I am all in. So I love the effort that you had put up, to get back and, yeah.
Thank you so much. And I'm so glad to hear that you love to talk about mental health. So, let's begin this exciting conversation. So, let me begin
Sure.
with a short introduction of you. Dr. Mehak Arora Malik is a psychologist, mental health counselor, and assistant professor. She comes with a PhD in clinical psychology and dedicatedly runs an IG page to raise mental health awareness. Connect with her for all types of mental health concerns. And if you want to talk more about mental health, I will drop all the related details in the description below. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Malik, on Journey Teachers.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so the first question for you is human mind is so beyond complexity and it's really impossible to control the way it thinks. So it can be devilish and the most innocent at the same time. And we can't control our mind, but how can we calm ourselves down, think only good, and avoid all types of negative thoughts that come in? Because in a way, our thoughts can determine an action. So it's utmost important to do so, right?
Yes. Okay, so Kriti, to begin with this thing, one thing I always tell to my students, my patients also, and the guardians there, who come for the counselings, it's always you cannot put yourself in positivity. It's very important to handle the negativities. It's very important to talk about the negativities, not to escape. You cannot be positive all the time. That's why I always tell you have to value something to be positive. You have to value your negativities to be positive. Okay, positivity is one very overestimated word. Everybody wants to be positive. Everybody is looking to the Google to think, give me the positive thoughts, and it's not that ways. You reach your goal only when you cross the puddles. So negativity is a puddle there. Okay, and how can you cross negativities to get onto a situation where you are stable, where you are positive, where you are happy? Okay, that is the process. So basically the first thing that I would like to suggest is to my viewers is, we all say that we need to practice meditation. We all need to practice yoga, but I give you one vocabulary today that says please practice kindness meditation, because that's the most important part. The more kindness meditation you practice, even during your negative time, even during your negative, amidst all the negative life events, you are going to gain access to a lot of positivity within yourself. So you have to practice this kindness meditation all the time, even though circumstances are not cool, even though circumstances are not apt, where you are feeling frustrated, you're feeling cranky. Just remember, you have to be kind. Even if saying a no, you have to be kind. You have to be very kind in saying no. So that is number one, would be practicing the kindness meditation. Second is, the more you help others, okay, the more you aid others, whoever needs your aid, consider yourselves lucky that ways that somebody is needing your aid. That is the best way to transfer your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. You cannot remain positive all the time, but you can create a positive aura behind you. That's the part. Okay, share your experiences, share your positive experiences, share your negative experiences, how you built up yourselves, how you have had struggles. See, I feel everybody have had struggles in their life. It's not about big struggle or a low struggle or a small struggle. Everybody, you also have struggled. I also have struggled. Just share your experiences, write it out, journal it out. That's the word we use, journal it out. Usko likho. Try and get all your experiences there. Just practice positive affirmations. If you want to be positive, just practice positive affirmations that, yes, I can do it. Yes, I am going to hit bullseye. Yes, I will try my level best. So all these are the things that you can get your knife into that positive aura.
That was really wonderful and such great suggestions coming from your end. And your words are so soothing, I must say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the next question is, there's a common problem that people often face these days as well, when all the festivals are at peak and they're not able to take the guilt-free breaks from their work, may it be festivals, holidays, or even weekends. So how do we go about it?
Okay. So before I answer this question, Kriti, I would like to tell the viewers who don't know that what is a guilt-free time. Okay. So guilt-free time basically is your me time, time you take out for your self-care, time you take out for boosting your self-energies, rejuvenating your own self. That is called a guilt-free time. Now, obviously, after the COVID happened and everybody started working from home, we have all been so much into that Monday to Sunday routines that now there are no Monday blues. There is in fact week blues. I have some of the people who talk about these week blues. Kare weekend and week blues also, it's all the same for us. So yes, that's a point that guilt free time is something that's being talked about, and I'm so glad you have asked this question because nobody literally talks about such things. So guilt free time or self time is very important. You need to know this thing, that it's important to keep yourself balanced. It's important to keep yourself calm, and it's important to keep your existence happy. And that is how you will want to go for this guilt free time. You need to tell it to your significant others. Significant others can be anybody, like your spouse, your parents, your siblings, whoever is your significant other. You need to first make them understand about this concept of guilt free time, okay, and how this time will help you bounce back, how taking 2 hours break for your self care, pampering yourself in any which ways will help you out. And if you are being helped, you are obviously going to maintain a good interpersonal relationship. So I feel कि self care time है, जो अपने लिए जो time है, that is not only making you happy as a person, you contented as a person, but it is bringing a lot of balance in your families also, and it is maintaining a lot of good interpersonal relationships there. So guilt free time, I feel it's okay to go ahead with it. चाहे 1 घंटा निकालो अपने लिए, चाहे 2 घंटे निकालो, चाहे 20 minutes निकालो, but take out time each day for yourself.
That's absolutely so true, that we should not hesitate to take out time for ourselves, and it would eventually benefit ourselves and our relationships with others.
Yes, absolutely, it does.
Yes. So how to avoid random tensions, worries, and distress that our mind causes to humans in terms of maybe the past occurrence, the future happenings, or maybe the harsh words of someone else, or literally any kind of random stress that happens to a human.
Okay. See, stress is a part of every person's life. Okay, if like I say that if there are emotions like sadness, there are emotions like happiness, there are emotions like laughter. Similarly, stress to me is one emotion. I have worked on my PhD thesis, and I was literally doing depression as the theme of my PhD thesis. So obviously, depression arises when it arises from stress. So when I have to talk about I'm here. Yeah. So when I have to talk about the random stress, the daily stress that all the people of any age group, be it adolescents, be it late adolescents or adults, they experience. What you can do is, like, the random instant answer would be that you need to exercise daily. It's very important for your stress to get down via your body, because stress is ultimately going to affect your body. Stress is ultimately going to affect your physical being. Okay, आप stress होते हो तो fever भी हो जाता है, stress होते हो तो there are multiple problems that you can get. So you have to exercise daily, you have to eat right. Okay, why am I saying it? Because in our brain we have got neurotransmitters. So these neurotransmitters, or these chemicals, if their balance goes up and down, so we get stressed, we get overthinking, in that zone of overthinking. So to avoid that, eating right is important, exercising daily is important. Okay, you have to understand that what triggers your stress. You have to understand ki mera trigger kya hai, what is my trigger of stress, what is my root of stress. You have to face it, accept it, and then try to sort it out. Never run away from any problem. That's what I say. And that's what my first answer was, that if you have to be positive, don't get away from the negatives, approach the negatives. So similarly, approach the stress, identify what are the what are the triggers that is there, and then we can go to a counselor, you can go to your any mental health therapist, so to find out that what relaxation techniques you can get. Focus on your breath. Okay, keep praying, repraying, and praying daily. There is a technique called guided imagery that we practice for the clients also. So what is that technique is that whenever you are in stress, just identify yourselves in a place that you want to be. Like, for example, just close your eyes and identify yourselves in the best place that you want to be, and just think that if you are in that place, how is life going to be for you. So that is called, उस stressful situation में, if you can practice this guided imagery, it works wonders. And I have seen my patients literally healing in front of me and saying that, yes ma'am, we are feeling literally good. So practice guided imagery. It's very, very effective technique, apart from repetitive praying, breathing, focusing on your exercise, and eating right. So these are the immediate things that you can do to handle stress, daily stress.
Absolutely. These small and these consistent things really works, and it really gives you great results in order to, fight from your stress and really deal with it.
Yes.
Okay. So they're in the world of social media, Gen Z, they are the most affected, and when it comes to mental health sufferings and actually comparing their lifestyles with that of others. So what would be your suggestions for them?
Okay, see, I feel it's not about Gen Z now. It's about every person right away who is into social media. Everybody holds an Instagram account, and more than Facebooks and more than Snapchats, Instagram is like the hottest. You can say the topmost, coolest place for the kids, and for especially for, yes, Generation X, Z, and whoever, like our category of people also. So there is a concept that I would like to tell you, how to stop being affected by the social medias, how to not get your life affected and just be perfect all the time. There's a concept of digital detox, and it's a very trending concept. I'm sure you must have also heard about it. It's like trending since 5 years now. So digital detox is something that I would want the kids, the adolescents there to prefer. Why? Because one, we are not turning you from the media overall. That's also important. Social news is also important. If you feel good about posting your pictures, that's important. But practice digital detox in between. Like, you can turn off your notifications, or, like, say, for example, one day you are using Instagram, the other day you can delete that app, and you can, just take a rest for some time. You have to understand this thing, that digital detox is not only just going to give you your me time. Okay, it's also going to bind your relationship with your parents, bind your relationship with your siblings, because we don't have time, other than Instagrams and other than Facebook and all these social network. Your whole of the time, I see that usme hi lag jata hai. So what I feel is that practice digital detox. Okay, That's the best way, because you cannot tell an overgrown adolescent there that yaar tumne nahi chalana social media, or you will not feel bad about it. They can't do it. You can't. I always believe in the process of weaning off the things, not withdrawing the things. So they need to practice digital detox, and then they need to make sure that they are not going to be posting just their best pictures. Post random pictures also. Post pictures without any makeup. Post pictures without any filters. It's all okay. I mean, post, just feel yourselves. There are so many celebrities around who are posting pictures now with repetitive outfits, who are posting pictures like they are. And I would like to give you this example of this lady, and who's a par excellent designer, Masaba. So she is one person who is posting everything, even her tan looks, even her the way she is repeating her outfits, the way her hair are, the way she's carrying any makeup product, or sometimes not carrying any product. So the more you tell this, the more you propagate your simplicity there, and in between digital detox, that's the best way you can handle these new generation. That's how I feel.
Absolutely. You can come across and be yourself in social media, and it really doesn't matter. And digital detox
Yes,
is really important because to regain yourself and build healthy relationships.
yes, yes, you're right.
Exactly. Also, there's a huge problem in terms of saying no and denying for a particular thing which does not resonate with you or if you aren't comfortable in. So, how do we set clear boundaries in this regard?
How to say no, that's your question.
Yeah, the
Okay.
power of saying no.
uh yes, exactly. The power of saying no is what we need to inculcate in ourselves. You need to understand this thing, that saying no is not like a bad habit. Saying no is okay. Like, we say now that it's okay to be not okay. It's okay to not feel good about some days. It's okay to be sad some days and not happy some days. So similarly, it's okay to say no. It's absolutely fine to say no. You are not obliged to do everything. You need to understand this thing, that sometimes your self care is also important. You are not a pleaser there. You are not a chaser there. You need to understand these facts. You are not a pleaser. You are not a chaser. You have every right to take care of your own self. And if self care demands a no, then go ahead with a no. Don't get obliged to everything in life. Set your goals, do it nicely, help others, but when it's the time for a no, just practice no. It's all okay to give that no, and just be polite. Just, I feel that one thing is that you have to be polite in everything. You don't have to be, people take no as a sign of rudeness. Let's try and bring no as a sign of positivity. Let's be polite in saying no. That's what I hold. Let's be polite in saying no. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's really normal and it's a part and parcel of your life to deny for a fact if it doesn't resonate with it. So it's really good. And I really loved how you compared like feeling low in everybody in daily life to the power of saying no.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So, how to not feel inferior if somebody is doing better than you and doing a good job overall, and not let your mind overthink about what somebody has said or what will other people say. How to not lose your personality and your values living among and meeting a variety of different people around. Basically, not losing yourself in the process of grooming and improving yourself.
Okay. See, I feel that the best way, when nobody, like, I feel that, nobody can make you feel low, and nobody can make you feel inferior without your own consent. It's about you. At the end of the day, everything is about you. Okay. You have, you cannot demean others. You cannot demean yourselves. It's important to understand that when somebody tries to make you feel inferior, you are that point of time not only demeaning yourself, you're also demeaning others around. Okay, so inferiority complex should not come. Also, I feel that all the people who blame universe for everything, अच्छा आज मेरा ये काम नहीं हुआ, मेरी किस्मत ही खराब है. This thing didn't happen. My destiny and my karmas, they are at a loss. So you need to understand this thing, that stop blaming. I feel the more changes you get into yourselves, the more less inferior and the more groomed and happy person you will feel. So don't blame the universe. And second thing is that, just get rid of the this fear of making mistakes. Are galti ho gayi to it's okay. So what? You're just going to learn. You're just going to get yourselves into that zone of perfection. Don't aim perfection, but just get off the rid of making mistakes. Ho gayi galti, so it's absolutely fine. I will improve later on. You can just positively affirm yourself that, if it's a mistake, I will affirm and I will just, move towards the right direction. You don't have to thirdly, I feel you don't have to seek attention also. हम बहुत ज्यादा जब attention seek करते हैं ना, so what happens is that we start feeling inferior. Our personality starts dooming. Our personality we feel that we are not up to the mark. Why do you want to seek attention? For instance, if in a class of students there is a teacher who is focusing on one or two particular students, and you start feeling inferior because of this, you don't have to, because you don't have to seek attention. I feel anything, anywhere in life you are, if you don't seek attention from anybody, if you get rid of this fear of making mistakes, if you stop demeaning your own selves, nobody can make you feel inferior, and your personality will be groomed. It will develop at its best.
Absolutely, it's so true, and it's really hold the true sense of the meaning. Okay, so how to live life to the fullest, maintaining its significance, its values, the desires, and your dreams, just enjoying it and living the best. What's your advice for the people listening to this?
Okay. So if you have to live life to the fullest, I feel you have to live the best right now, right at this moment. Like, for example, I am propagating you about mental health, and we are talking about mental health. For me, this is the best time. So each moment that you are living, those quotes that you read on Google, those quotes you read on Pinterest, they are not cliches. Okay. And even if they are cliches, they are there for some purpose. To start living the best right now. Okay. And another concept is, that I tell it to a lot of people, and it actually works, is, create your happy bucket list. Like, you have a wish list na, कि ये मेरी wish list है life में, I want to achieve this. There is a happy bucket list. That's different from a wish list, obviously. So happy bucket list is what? That, you have to write down on a piece of paper certain 10 or 11 things, that what are the things in general that makes me happy. Like, what it can be the minor things also. Like, for example, buying stationery makes you happy, visiting malls makes you happy, eating a Uncle Chips packet makes you happy, eating a Kit Kat makes you happy. Any 10 things that makes you the most happiest person. So when you are in stress, when you have that inferiority complex, when you are in that low zone, and when you want to still live life to the fullest, take the help of your happy list. Check that piece of paper कि मैंने इस time पे क्या लिखा था. Note down the time, note down the date, and that's the way. Apart from that, yes, express gratitude. Be grateful about everything. That's the key there. Okay, that's a cliche quote, but I feel expressing gratitude is the best way you can live life to the fullest. Okay. फिर we, all of us at this age, particularly after the COVID happened, we all have overthinking a subscription with us. Like, you are subscribed to YouTube, then you are subscribed to Netflixes and Prime videos. Similarly, most of us, we are subscribed to overthinking. So please get over that overthinking ka subscription. Khatam ho gaya abhi that phase. You have to be very careful about your thoughts. You have to be very careful about what you think, because it's thinking that leads to overthinking. If you think right, you will be absolutely okay. And then be careful about your mental health. Agar lage kabhi that you are trying all the efforts, you are making all the efforts, and still nothing is working, then that is the time you need to consult a mental health therapist. Your immediate family, your friends, your siblings, they are your first people concerned. They are your support network. अगर उनसे भी बात नहीं बनती, if you think that you are still in that zone, then go to a mental health therapist without a second thought. Because ultimately you just need to realize this thing that you deserve all the love and you deserve all the happiness. So you have to live life to the fullest anyways. So live in the moment.
Absolutely so true. Finding joy in the present moment is
Yes.
really the matter. And it's so good to listen to you. And I really appreciate what you are sharing, creating the happy bucket list. It's a wonderful idea. And I'm really going to
Thank,
implement it.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Also, you're doing in such an amazing job by creating your freelancing page and, raising the mental health awareness. You want to talk more about it?
Yeah, sure. See, I feel that when I created this page, people hold when I tell somebody that I am a psychologist. So people say, "अच्छा, can you read our minds? आपको पता चल रहा है मेरा चेहरा देख के कि आप क्या बोल रहे, क्या सोच रही हूँ मैं?" That was the trigger in my identified that as a trigger to create this page, because I wanted to just tell people out there, people who don't hold any knowledge about psychology, okay, it's not about face reading, it's not about mind reading. We as psychologists, we analyze the behaviors. We are not magicians. We are only going to give you some lifestyle changes. It's on to you to implement those lifestyle changes. And the more, I guess, I spoke on mental health, I wrote on mental health, the more the followers came up, and I really get appreciated for the same. I'm posting less these days, less of my videos there, but then your session just is like a comeback, a bounce back there again for me, that I need to just get hold and talk more about the things. People are not aware of the concept. Basically unko lagta hai anxiety is same, depression is same, sadness is same. There's a like zameen asman ka, you say, difference. So it's like that in these terms. So I wish to propagate all the mental health myths and make people more clear. So, and thank you for the chance there to give to talk about the things. And you at this tender age are doing absolutely wonderful.
Thank you
All the
so
best to
much.
you too.
Thank you so much. It's a humble pleasure to hear that from you. And you are doing such an amazing job. Keep it up. And all the best for your journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you.